Hello there once again, my movie peeps. Let's talk about some movie news. Some of the things we'll be discussing here today, guys, is we've got an update on Kraven the Hunter, Sony explaining themselves, and don't know if I'm buying what they're throwing. We got the trailer for the Thunderbolts leak. Now, I'm just going to tell you right up front, not going to be able to show you any of it, but because it's being spread all over the place and you guys want my thoughts, I will be talking about it. And we got some new details about Spider-Man 4 that I'm like, man, why are you taking away what possibly could be an easy win for Spider-Man fans? Oh, we're going to be diving into that along with so much more. So you guys know the drill. Leave your opinions down below. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Timestamps in the description. And well, let's just dive into the first story here. So kicking things off, we have James Wan, notable horror director, who's currently reported to be in talks to direct The Creature from the Black Lagoon remake. In the article, they have it here that the project is described as, Wan's take is described as being grounded, modernized retelling that will lean into visceral horror while still paying respect to the original. It feels like every other month we are hearing about a Universal monster that is getting the remake or reboot treatment. Heck, I'm hearing any day now we're about to get our first trailer for Wolfman. This is the modernized retelling of the Wolfman story directed by Lee Winnell, who brought us the modernized retelling of The Invisible Man. Very much looking forward to that Wolfman trailer whenever it comes out. And now James Wan over here. In fact, the two guys who started the Saw franchise working separately on Universal Monsters. Love to see it. I always do see some people get hesitant and weird whenever they hear, oh, a modernized retelling, but to me, that's what kind of makes it exciting. Seeing what Lee Winnell did with The Invisible Man, the way he modernized that, has me so excited for this modern Wolfman, and now Creature from the Black Lagoon. Well, I think a lot of us could argue they've kind of already done this with The Shape of Water, directed by Guillermo del Toro. That feels like a very much Creature from the Black Lagoon inspired story. Jumping back in as a horror director into a horror movie is something I want to see. I'm still pissed off the world let him down with Malignant. Granted, that movie got released during the pandemic, so it didn't really have a fighting chance, but man, I ended up loving that movie and reminded myself why I dig going to watch James Wan horror movies. So count me all in for this Creature of the Black Lagoon story. I throw it off to you guys. Are you excited for this? And what other Universal monster are you waiting to get some sort of modern adaptation for? Moving on from there, let's talk a little bit about the Terminator franchise. Now, one thing about running a franchise to the ground is that it loses its value, and I think the Terminator franchise, unfortunately, has fallen into that category. For me, I know growing up, the Terminator franchise was like one of the biggest, baddest Hollywood blockbusters out there, but after several attempts at rebooting, remaking, or restarting this franchise, and none of them taking off, you gotta start to ask yourselves, does the current generation even care about Terminator? And well, just like a Terminator, we're not gonna let the franchise die. James Cameron here is once again teasing us about his new Terminator movie he's working on. If you guys don't remember, back in the year 2022, he revealed that there are discussions to bring the franchise back. He first said this: if I were to do another Terminator film and maybe try and to launch that franchise again, which is in discussion, but nothing has been decided, I would make it much more about the AI side of it than bad robots gone crazy. And then just recently this week, during an interview, he doubles down that this is still happening and it's getting closer, because James Cameron revealed, Cameron casually dropped news that he is working on his own Terminator stuff. Unfortunately, the filmmaker remains tight-lipped and isn't spilling the beans on what it is. It's totally classified, teased Cameron. I don't want to have to send out a potentially dangerous robotic agent if you were to talk about it, even retroactively. It's looking like this project is starting to gain some momentum. Now, I think the only thing that could actually get me excited for a Terminator movie now is if James Cameron directs, and I just don't think that's gonna happen. The man in this same interview was talking about how he still plans to direct Avatar 4 and 5 when it was previously thought he might hand off the director's chair to somebody else. And well, if you know Avatar, those movies are time consuming and we're not gonna finish that franchise off to the year 2031. Okay, I looked at that calendar today of the Avatar movies and I was like, I do not want to think about how old I'm going to be when those finish off. So Cameron is just invested into the Pandora Blue world. I don't think he would direct this. And with the way everybody just universally loves at least the first two Terminator movies, it feels like another James Cameron directed Terminator movie could be the only thing to knock this thing back into gear. So we shall see, man. I even saw some people not loving the idea that he would focus on the AI side instead of the bad robots. But if there's one thing you learn in Hollywood, you never bet against James Cameron. The man knows how to cook. Moving on from there, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Thunderbolts. Now, if you were online today, you might have seen they finally leaked the Thunderbolts trailer that first premiered at San Diego Comic-Con about a week ago. For the past 2 days, it's been nothing but leaked images of this trailer, and now finally somebody just decided to release it. I couldn't help it. I checked it out, especially because at D23 this past week, Marvel was just like, yeah, record this on your phones and have the whole world see it. And that's how we got a lot of trailers for upcoming Marvel projects. The new Captain America trailer that showed us a good look at Red Hulk. We had the Ironheart trailer in there. The sizzle reel for the Fantastic Four. And now Marvel is starting to copyright those posts. So I'm like, yo, why weren't you strict at D23 about this? But because I am seeing Marvel start to copy strike them, I'm not going to risk it here because your boy's already still in trouble. 90 days is not up from that Minecraft video. If you want to check it out and Marvel hasn't completely wiped it off the face of the internet yet, I'm going to put it in the pinned comment so you can go check it out. But I have two big thoughts on this. One, I'm not loving the costumes and hair designs of a lot of these characters. I feel like they really fumbled on that. I do kind of like US Agent's suit. It's basically the same suit from the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, but man, I don't like the little scruffed up beard they gave him in this trailer. And don't even get me started on Bucky's hairstyle. Some of those set photos, you have seen them, and in the trailer, it just does not look any better. And even at Comic-Con, we got to look at David Harbour's new Red Guardian suit that I also think is a downgrade from the previous Red Guardian suit. We'll have to talk about the Ghost and Taskmaster designs when the trailer officially gets released, because I just can't keep ranting. I will say though, costumes and stuff aside, I actually kind of really dug the trailer. I don't know where my hype level was for Thunderbolts. Some days I was excited for it, other days I was like, I could do without this movie. But that trailer, I like the serious tone it's going for. It looks like they're implementing some real storytelling with the characters. There seems to be this theme in the trailer of like feeling unwanted or unimportant. And so they're all kind of struggling with that within them. And I was like, that could be a really great story device. Plus the little bits of action we also get in there, I thought looked really cool. So you know what? Thunderbolts might need some adjustment cosmetically, but honestly, the trailer I thought was actually pretty good. But I'll definitely go much more in detail to some of the other big details revealed in that trailer once Marvel officially releases it. But for those of you who have seen the leaked Thunderbolts trailer, again, in the pinned comment, do you like it? Do you not like it? Let me know. Moving on here to talk a little bit about Kraven the Hunter. Well, I think a lot of people are probably still excited for Venom 3: The Last Dance to come out this October. I think a lot of people are forgetting Kraven the Hunter, rated R, is coming out this December. One of the funniest things about this movie, though, is that it was supposed to originally come out October of 2023. In fact, they were 1 month away from releasing it. It was ready, but the Hollywood strike happened, all these other delays, and well, Sony also decided, let's do some reshoots. And that's kind of what we're getting an explanation of right now. In an article discussing a new film coming out with J.C. Chandler, the director of Kraven the Hunter, Deadline details one of the reasons Sony wanted to do these reshoots is so that they can sharpen the characters and tighten the plot. This is a reaction to people really not loving Madam Web, and Sony obviously not wanting to be known for terrible superhero movies. And oddly enough, even in this article, they say Kraven the Hunter will be much more in line with the Venom movies. It's like... I don't know if that's like a glowing thing you want to put out there. I know some people love those Venom films, but telling me Kraven the Hunter is going to be like the Venom movies... Ugh. But Sony being happy with the movie could actually be for real, because Sony just again hired this director for another project, a murder mystery movie, separate from the Spider-Man universe and whatnot. But if they're happy with Kraven the Hunter, it makes sense that they would hire him again for something else. So it could possibly mean Kraven the Hunter maybe is going to be an enjoyable or fun movie, or even up to that Venom quality of films. The other funny thing about this is the streets right now, the movie news scooping game is saying they're gonna drop a new trailer for Kraven the Hunter tonight at midnight. In all my years of doing this movie news game, you know, and looking at stuff and all that, a trailer that releases at midnight, unless it's like a big event and you're like really hyping it up, like if it was the next Avenger trailer, right, and you had a countdown and all that, when you spontaneously drop a trailer at midnight on a random Tuesday, that's because you're trying to hide that trailer, buddy. That's not really a sign of confidence or that you're that proud and happy about your movie. So we'll see if they actually do drop this trailer tonight at midnight. It's always probably California time midnight, so that'll be 2 a.m. my time. So don't expect an immediate video. You'll probably get one the following morning. But yeah, you hear this update with Kraven the Hunter and them dropping a trailer at midnight. You believe in they fix things? Bringing us here now to talk about some Spider-Man 4. Jeez, oh Willie, where do we even begin, guys? It's been a weird cycle of Spider-Man news ever since we knew they were working on a fourth Spider-Man movie. Going with the absolute quickest brief summary of the past news that we have gotten, it seemed like Marvel and Sony had a clear direction for where they wanted things to go after Spider-Man No Way Home. They have set up Peter Parker for a classic Spider-Man story. The world doesn't know him. He's basically all alone. He has to figure out a job, figure out going to school, and he's going to be doing it all while still trying to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's like, I'm genuinely so excited. That could be a grounded street level story, and it seemed very clearly that Marvel was also going to synchronize this project with Daredevil Born Again. And the story for Daredevil Born Again was going to be about Wilson Fisk becoming mayor of New York, where he'd eventually implement a law saying no more vigilantes and putting a bounty out on Spider-Man and Daredevil, where they team up. Like, the movie was basically gonna write itself. Grounded story, Daredevil and Spider-Man team up, maybe have Scorpion finally come in there, J. Jonah Jameson hires them. It was so clear what they were gonna do, but something happened. Sony was going back and forth with Feige. The story then changed. Even if you go to interviews, Tom Holland went from saying they had a great idea to then saying, we're working on the story. We're trying to figure it out, and we're not going to do it until it's right. Making it clear they're changing the story several times. And now they've changed it once again. According to a report from Alex of the Cosmic Circus, which is a reliable source, they've gotten a lot of stuff right. They've also been monitoring the Spider-Man situation very closely. They now give us a bunch more details about Spider-Man 4 from what they're currently hearing. The latest update says the story has been changed. Peter will be heading to ECU, that's Empire State University, so college. Filming is currently set to begin later this year, and the film might release between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. On the part that says the story has changed, they basically let us know Kingpin might no longer be one of the villains included in this next Spider-Man movie, and for the longest, that was like the recurring plot point. Kingpin was going to work as this big bad, calling the shots, hiring hitmen to go get the vigilantes, round them up, and open the door for a lot of villains to come out. Scorpion, maybe Shocker to come back with an upgraded suit. But no, instead, they're saying that they're going to save the Kingpin storyline and interaction until after Secret Wars, meaning that probably won't be a story plot point until Spider-Man 5. So it's looking more and more likely like maybe Sony did win. Sony saw the crazy amount of money they made with Tobey and Andrew at their helm, and they're like, yeah, we'd like to make that money again. And if the rumors are true that any Marvel movies being released between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars are going to take place on Battleworld, which is an idea in the comics where pieces from different universes all clash together on one planet, this could be how Sony explains Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire just being down the street along even with Tom Hardy's Venom, and they get to have their ultimate crossover that they've haphazardly been teasing. I would be really disappointed if that turns out being the case, because I just kind of wanted that grounded Spider-Man story. And, you know, with the Russo brothers now being officially confirmed for Doomsday and Secret Wars, I just know they're finally gonna have Spider-Man in that black suit for Avengers Secret Wars. And, you know, if that's how you play out Spider-Man 4 leading into Avengers Secret Wars, I guess it can make sense, because we're thinking Tobey and Andrew are going to be part of Secret Wars, you know, with Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and all these other legacy characters. It seems just like Feige and Sony saw the opportunity for another multiverse adventure in Spider-Man that could prop up their Avenger movie, because there were rumors that Spider-Man is supposed to be a vital character for Doomsday and Secret Wars, and you can't tell me that's not the case with like Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom. A lot of people are waiting for that reaction, for Peter Parker to see his mentor, his hero, become the enemy of the universe. But I honestly don't know. All I could say is right now it's not looking good for us fans who are wanting the grounded story. This is where I throw it off to you guys. You see this update with Spider-Man 4. It's looking like they're not going to include Kingpin. And if Kingpin's not there, no way they had Daredevil. Makes me remember those rumors that Ant-Man was going to be the Marvel character to be alongside Spider-Man. Oh, jeez. How are you feeling about all this news involving Spider-Man 4? But that is all movie news currently going on right now, guys. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of day to watch me talk some movie news. Don't be forgetting to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.